In this Photoshop tutorial, we're going to cover how to create rounded edges. Rounded edges provide for interesting options for images on the web or any other use that you may have. The first step is to create the background layer into an editable layer. We will drag the lock on the background layer to the trash can, which will then create this into an editable layer. Our next step is to go to the Add Mask Layer button. Now you'll notice that the Add Vector Mask button is displayed. We're going to add a vector mask. Our next step is to select the Shape tool. In this case, we're going to choose the Rounded Rectangular tool. I'm going to change the radius to 25 pixels. I'm going to type in 25 pixels and then choose the Draw tool. I will then select around, and you'll notice that this has now given us our rounded edge. We can further highlight the edge by going to the effects and providing a stroke to our background. I'm going to choose a different color for the border. I can change the border position to the inside or outside. In this case, I kind of like the inside, so I'm going to leave it in that position. I'm also going to look and see how the inside shadow looks. That kind of adds some particular interest to it, so I'm going to leave that. And I'm also going to give it a drop shadow. When I go over to the drop shadow, I'm going to give a little bit more distance so that we'll see the drop shadow giving a little more inflection to our picture. So now, through these basic steps, we have created a rounded image or rounded edges and provided a stroke and a couple other effects, including the drop shadow. We can then export this out as a PNG file, and if we export it out as a PNG file by going to the File drop-down menu, Save As, and then we're going to save this as a PNG file. The PNG file will allow us to have the transparency element within this photo. Good luck, and when you have a chance to open Photoshop, try the rounded edges technique, and maybe you can find some interesting ways to use this feature in Photoshop.